Hi, today we're going to talk about The Book Thief. The Book Thief is about basically Nazi Germany. It's about a young girl named Liesel, and she experiences a lot of trauma. Her first is on her way to her new foster family. It does kind of turn around a little bit for her. She goes to her foster family and bonds with her foster dad. She steals books. He teaches her to read the stolen books, and she makes a close friend, Rudy, in the neighborhood, and they cause maybe a little more than childhood mischief, but round about that together. They bond over the parallels of their life and just the turbulence of living in the time between the world wars. Um, Sadly, World War II starts and she faces a lot of loss and a lot of trauma during that time. She does luckily survive, but not many others that she was bonded to did survive, so it's more trauma and more loss for her. It's a really good book, but also really heart-wrenching. So, this book is definitely recommended for kids 12 and up. And any gender, not male or female. It's not geared toward one or the other, but it's definitely for the engaged reader. It's not a book for children that are maybe a little apprehensive to read. Like, this child needs to really like to read. This book is 550 pages long and it's packed full of detail. I think that even though this book is rated for children 12 and up, 12 might even be on the young side depending on the maturity level of the child. It is a very honest account of what happened during that time, and it's not a very nice thing that happened during that time. But I think that a child's reflection would probably be that they would relate to her and they would feel her sadness and the emotions that she felt during that time. I think that this book is capable of giving kids a better understanding of World War II and what went on to being a Jewish person during World War II and, right before World War II, because it's on a very relatable level. I also think this book is a really good insight on what it was like to be a foster child back then. Children go into foster care now for better lives because they're unable to be cared for by their parents, which was the case in this book, but she still faced hunger and a foster mother that loved to curse and was pretty strict, which I'm sure could still be the case, but generally foster parents are screened a little bit better, so I think it gives kids a good insight on, like, hey, we've come a long way since then. I'm really glad that I got to read The Book Thief myself. I don't think it's a book that I would have went back and read as an adult, and it took me longer to get through it than I thought that it would, but it definitely gave me a different point of view of, I guess, what went on in that time. And it's always been something that I've been interested in, but hearing it from 12-year-olds and hearing it from, a child that had somebody she was really bonded to go to war, those are things that I never experienced. So hearing it or reading it, I guess, on a personal level was just a really good understanding of it. And I think that another real special part of it was when they brought Max into the story, and he was a Jew hiding out from the Nazis, and it was nice to see that even though it was highly against the law, they felt the need to protect other humans, and they gave his account of the way things were then too. So I think that this was a really good interpretation of what went on.